All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be deliberate about what version of Node we're using. I'm going to use 11 here, although we support a number of different options. And then this is what you do to install it: npm install-g for global and at ironcore labs/ironhide. Most important is how to get help, ironhide help or ironhide help, and then some command family like user. So the device list, for example, would be user:device list, and you'd see something like that. So we'll start with a simple example. We have a plain text file. We can use a file:"encrypt" to encrypt that. And if we don't do anything else, by default, it'll create an encrypted file alongside the unencrypted file. So if we're looking at that, it looks all normal. If you're looking at the encrypted file, you'll see there's a little header that has a document ID and a segment ID. That's how we track what that file is, but not the contents of it. So if you're doing this sort of more normally, you'd probably want to delete that plain text input. In this case, we'll say file encrypt -d to delete the source if it's successful, plain text, and then we'll specify a new output. So it's not confusing, ciphertext.iron. So that's just a data file. That's actually encrypted with AES encryption, and then the encryption keys are wrapped to the user or group that they're encrypted to. By default, it encrypts it just to the current user, and that's the only user that has access. If you want to, you can look at a list of groups you're a member of. You can create groups and do other things. If you create it, you're an admin. You can add other people as admin also. You can also look at information about groups that you're a member of. And so if you're a member of the Cool Kids group, you can go check that out and see who are the admins, who are the members, and so forth. So you can take an existing file that's already been encrypted, and you can add or remove users and groups from that file. So in this case, if we look at the info on our encrypted file again, we're redacting just the email addresses because spam. So in that case, we have it's encrypted to a user, to me, and to one group, the Cool Kids group. So then if we were to decrypt it, of course, everything works as you'd expect it. On encrypt, you can, instead of doing the file grant thing, you can also specify one or more groups. You can separate them with commas. In this case, I'll encrypt the ironcore engineering and IT groups. I'll specify the ciphertext, and then you can check that again by just using the same old file info command to understand who it's been encrypted to. And that's it. That's the gist. Groups are pretty easy to administer. Files are pretty easy to work with. Generally speaking, it works by default. You have per device keys, and there's a whole login, logout flow that goes along with it. Thanks for listening.